Hello everyone, it is Jacob here with a upwards of 5 trillion update damage. Character is now ready to run deep space. I'm running deep space only pretty much now. Farming the arcana that I showed you in one of the last videos. So I'm running the strats that I actually make videos for, right? I pretty much did the upgrades that I mentioned in the last videos. I completed all my gear, upgraded it to two tier zeros. Well, yeah, it took some time. I finished my last upgrade yesterday. I got really unlucky on upgrading to tier zeros on my bow. Character is very tanky. As you can see, I can stay in pretty much every mechanic that the deep space throws at you. The only things that you need to notice when you are running deep space with this build in this current state is the timid curse and some of the damage over time mechs when they are paired with what is the curse called? Let me check real quick. Curse, entangled pain. So when there's an entangled pain and some damage over time mechanic on the map, just you need to be cautious to not stand in AoEs for too long. But other than that, it is pretty safe. It is immune to all the ailments, physical and elemental as well. Requires swapping of a support skill, but I will show you what you should prepare for deep space. It's immune to slow, weaken, it's immune to paralyze and blinding as well. So you are pretty much immune against everything that deep space can throw at you, but curses. Curses are the only thing that can screw you over, actually. So yeah, I mean, you can still run maps with curses just as easy. Just need to make sure that you are not standing in AoEs and not getting hit by all the mechs at once. The character is really tanky. And as I said, it still has a room for upgrades, so it will get tankier. And it can still get a lot more damage. Next upgrade, the next update video that I will be making will be after I finish Supreme Showdown 20. I will give you a build update for that as well. After I complete it, I haven't completed it yet, I completed Supreme Showdown 19 so far. So yeah, this is just a quick run of deep space map, just so you have idea how it performs. Bosses. And we are done. I'm level 99. If I get focused while playing, I believe I will be able to level up to level 100 with this build in deep space. I'm planning to level to 100. So yeah, let's check the DPS real quick. You can see 5 trillion right there. So that's that. Now let's hop onto the skills first, because those were not changed much. I finished leveling up my supports on Einarjars, and the setup is still the same. Running Einarjar with this Blink Arrow Resurrection Warcry with either Harmony or Purify. Aim, Burst of Anger, and then the free spirits that you saw in the last video. For candles, it is wind projectiles and multifaceted guard candle with the physical damage to main hand weapon on both. That's for that. On the erosion magus, you want to make sure that you get this support on it, so it increases your damage, because we don't really need the additional damage over time defense. We really need the damage, so this one could be upgraded still as well for my character. So that's for the future upgrade as well. And for the future upgrade, I want to get these support skills, precise versions of them pretty much, which will increase the effect of these free spirit maguses. These two will give me more damage, and this one will give me more defense. So that's for the skills. Quick preview. For hero memories, I have block chance on all of them. So block chance and projectile speed basis. And then I was trying to roll block chance on all of them, and after I hit Spirit Magus effect I kept it. So you can see Spirit Magus effect and attack block chance, Spirit Magus effect and spell block chance, and then block chance for both spell and attack here. Now these hero trait setups I use for bosses, and I use this for mapping because that gives you attack speed and movement speed, so you go through the maps faster. And it also like gives you restoration whenever you kill the debuffed monster. But it doesn't, like, it is pretty much every rare. Like, you are using the debuff automatically every 2 seconds, because it gets used whenever you gain a blessing through this, and you are getting blessings every 2 seconds. So this gets cast every 2 seconds. If you want to cast it more often, you have to use it manually, or you need to get a blessing generation somewhere, either on your slates or some items. Yeah. Let's hero traits. Skill tree or talent tree. Goddess of Deception stayed the same. Mixture and Forbidden Power. Shadow Master. Roll slowly here. As I said in the last video, I'm putting the remaining points into the additional chance of getting additional stack of deterioration here. So the last point will go here as well. And dirt, additional erosion damage, and beyond cure, additional erosion damage as well. And the last one is alchemist. That's the one that lets us use all 5 spirits at once. And the large nose would be source for the 50% sealed mana and additional Spirit Magus effect. And the second one, there's nothing like really useful, but this one lets you use a healing skill and use the restoration effect of the skill all the time, because it never wears off when you have this up. And the tree looks like this. You need to spend these 2 points somewhere in between like 15 and 6, and this node is pretty much the only one that gives you anything useful. The only other one would be either life regeneration or life regeneration speed, but I took the damage here. For Statue of the God, I changed 1 slate for these 2, because I just wanted to get paralyzed somewhere, because I'm preparing for my future upgrade, and I will need to get paralyzed somewhere else than on my gloves. So I got it on this slate. I also got like got it with something useful, so 12% additional attack damage if you have used Warcry skill in the last 8 seconds. I'm using Warcry for my healing skill every like 4 seconds, so this is up all the time, and it gets doubled through Ben Spark sets Prairie ablaze. You can see it here. So paralyze source and additional damage mod. The additional damage mod could be this, it could be like this, additional base damage for two-handed weapons, or it could be 12% additional sentry damage when the sentries are not used in the last second. So yeah, anything additional damage or plus skills also work, but the additional damage is 12, while plus skill is pretty much only 10%. So yeah. And I had the conversion on the slate that I replaced, so I had to get it somewhere. So this is the second part of the swap. Convert 100% physical damage to erosion damage with the additional sentry damage if sentry skill is not used in the last 1 second. And this knockback actually works as well on sentries. Monsters get knocked back away from your character, not away from the sentries, but away from your character, so this works pretty well on small monsters. Just keep them away from you. And for the rest of the slates, you want one God of Machines slate with minus additional damage over time when a restoration skill is active. Restoration skill is active all the time. And 10% damage taken is transferred to a random minion. We have this in the passive tree as well, so we have 20%. And the rest, I would like to roll the additional sentry damage on this last mod, but I wasn't lucky enough. And then I would love to get like Origin of Spirit Magus effect, most likely, on the other mods. But yeah. And on these Gods of Might Divinity slates, I have Inflicted Paralysis have 100% increased effect while holding two-handed weapon. We are using a bow, so that's a two-handed weapon, so this works. I have it on both, and I have both with additional base damage for two-handed weapons as well. And the rest of the mods, +1 skill, additional damage, projectile speed, critical strike rating, critical strike damage, anything helps. So as you can see here, I have projectile speed here, this mod does nothing, and +1 skills, and projectile speed here, this mod does nothing, +1 attack skills. For pedigree, you wanna get pedigree with co-resonance and something useful. So this is a possible upgrade as well. I can get like a small note. Yeah, I can get the second mod for it with some huge passive. There's a passive that gives you like 20% additional two-handed weapon damage as well, or 25, so that would help me a lot with damage as well. So possible upgrades on this one as well. If you would like to get some like really high cost upgrade, you can get pedigree with source and co-resonance, and that would let you swap this entire tree. You would get this on the slate, and it would let you swap the entire tree for damage tree, pretty much. And the damage tree would be most likely Warlock, I think. Yeah, maybe Ronin or something else, or Ranger. Yeah, depends. Probably Warlock. So yeah, that's what the pedigree would let you do. And the last thing that remains to check is here. So I swapped the amulet, the unique amulet that we were using for the corruption curse. I got a base with corruption curse and some useful mods, and then I crafted it with deterioration damage, fervor, which gives you critical strike rating, max life, chance to get barrier, which gives you extra like shield on top of your life and energy shield, and when you get it on tier 0 it gives you 25% barrier shield as well. And the shield equals to 20% of your maximum life and energy shield together, and absorbs 50% of damage taken, of hit damage taken, not damage over time. So yeah, And then critical strike damage and projectile speed for more damage. For the belt, you would want to get, since the build is life based, and I was playing energy shield based build before I swapped to life, so you would be better off with getting a life base here instead of energy shield. But I'm not willing to replace the entire belt and craft it again, so I stick with my old one. You want to get one with immune to paralysis and blinding, and that is because paralysis and blinding are getting inflicted onto you when you are using multifaceted guard candle. So you can see character randomly gains blind, weaken or paralyze when sentry disappears. So whenever your sentries end, you get a random of these 3 debuffs, which wears off after like 4 seconds, but you can completely mitigate that with the belt there. And I have minus weaken somewhere as well. I will show it in a minute after I'm done with the gear. So paralysis and blinding, those are also mods that you can encounter in deep space, so that gives you immunity to those deep space mods as well. And then you want to craft Gale on it, because you're scaling projectile speed, and Gale lets you scale projectile speed into additional projectile damage. You're using projectile skill, so this scales our damage. And then you want to craft it with like useful mods. So this is pretty much a defensive belt, as you can see. Max life, attack and spell block chance. My block chances are here, 99% for spells, 85 for attacks, but I can still upgrade one of the hero memories to tier 0 attack block chance, so that would theoretically put me higher here as well. Then I have 35% block ratio, so if you get these two to 100%, it pretty much gives you 35% damage reduction. 30 if you don't have the pedigree that I have with the 5% increase. So that's that. So block chance, additional damage taken at low mana. So you are at low mana, we are at 30% mana. You can check it here on the passive skills. On the left side here it says like 30% unreserved. So as long as you are under 35, you are at low mana. So this is always active. And then resistances, elemental resistances, that helps me with getting to the cap here on all 3. Lightning, cold and fire, that's on belt, and on rings that's like all of them. So that's here, and chance to deal double damage. That's the only damaging mod on my belt. Then both rings are pretty much the same. Max life, damage, dexterity, crit damage, additional damage for main hand weapon. That's a really important mod. And then elemental resistance and erosion resistance. I haven't reroll any of my items yet, so if the numbers seem slow, that's because I did not do that yet. So possible upgrades there as well, rerolling for higher rolls. So both rings, the same, max life, damage, dexterity, additional main hand damage, crit damage, and elemental and erosion resistance. So that's that. Boots, I got a base with armor damage mitigation. I got the same one on my bow as well. So boots with armor damage mitigation, because you cannot get that stat pretty much anywhere else. Or there are not that many sources. And armor actually reduces elemental damage and erosion damage as well. So you are mitigating a portion of it with this. And then additional life. For additional life you want to get an armor base. Otherwise you cannot roll the mod there. Then +2 physical skill level, projectile speed, cold resistance, lightning resistance, erosion resistance. Erosion resistance for me is not tier 0 because I don't really need it. I'm above the cap already, so that's here. And the last thing, the bow. You want to get a base with lucky critical strike. That pretty much doubles your critical strike chance. And then you want to roll it for physical damage, so gear physical damage, additional physical damage to the gear, and combined gear physical damage and additional physical damage to the gear, plus 2 sentries, critical strike damage, and gear attack speed. You can check the critical strike chance that I have. Alright, here. So my critical strike chance right now is 83%. With 600% critical strike damage. After I get the supports for the Spirit Magus effect, critical strike chance will go higher, and attack speed will go higher as well. And that's because Summon's Fire Magus gives you a critical strike rating. And I will be upgrading these two supports, will increase its effect. And Summon Thunder Magus gives you attack speed, additional attack speed. So upgrading these two will increase my attack speed as well. And now for the Pact Spirits. You want to get Origin of Spirit Magus effect, at least the big ones. Then you want to get 2 for Spirit Magus, Frost Magus. So you get the Frost Magus effect on you. It's right here, you can see that it is up. I have all 5 of the buffs up, even though you cannot see it here, but I have all 5 up. So I'm getting Frost Magus from my Pact Spirit tree, then I'm increasing the effect here, then I'm taking plus Dexterity on 4 nodes. You could get more Spirit Magus effect as well instead, but Spirit Magus effect like micro fates are going for 1.5k, so that's not cheap, while Dexterity is fairly cheap. I'm taking it here as well. So, and every free slot with micro fates I took Dexterity, and for Deep Space you want to get slow immunity somewhere, so I'm getting it here. 53 and 49, so that's above 100% slow immunity. And then weaken immunity, the other two as well. So 49, 53, above 100. Weaken immunity here. Weaken resistance. For Deep Space, what you want to make sure is when you have a Deep Space map with elemental elements, which would be like the I'm not sure how they are called in Deep Space, but Scorch, the Frostbite is called, let's try to check it here, Freeze. You want to get immunity to Freeze. Scorch is the fire one, and I'm not sure about the other ones, but Numbed is there as well. So against elemental elements you get immunity through Harmony, which is always up, because you are casting this skill every 4 seconds and it has 4 seconds duration, so it is always up. So that's that's Ignite, Numbed and Freeze. So Scorch and the Lightning element and the Cold element as well. On Deep Space they are called differently because they have some extra effects, but they count as Ignite, Numbed and Frostbite or Freeze. And if you find Maim or Rot, those count as Wilt and Trauma, so improved effect of Wilt or Trauma. So when you have that there, you take Purify instead of Harmony, and you get immunity to those two. So just make sure that you are swapping the right support in whenever you get either of them. The only thing that you need to make sure is that you don't have the elemental and physical at the same time. These two are both elemental, so I can mitigate them with the Harmony. So yeah, when there's an elemental element and then physical or wilt, so Maim or a Rot, you just want to reroll until there's only one. And for the rest of the things, you get the immunity from the belt and from the Pact Spirits here. So for life-based builds, it's pretty easy to actually enter deep space. An upgrade for the healing skill would be getting an activation medium with lower cooldown here. Not preparation, the green one has like 0.2 seconds. Or you can use the activation medium start, which would trigger it every time you start like running. So yeah, that's for that. I'm sure that I pretty much went over everything. So if you have any question for the build, ask them in the comment section below. I thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!